Welcome to Savidge Kitchen. If you've been with me for a while, you know that I make cocktails here, and then a lot of my cocktail ideas are inspired by my kitchen and food, spices I have in my cabinet, foods that I like to eat. So today we're going to be doing something a little bit different that uses ingredients that I have used in several different cocktails, and we are going to be making bacon jam. Bacon jam, if you've never had it before, it's the food of the gods. It's delicious. It is a great accoutrement for a charcuterie board or a nice kind of jelly to put with your cheeses, depending on where you're from. I make it every year at the holidays. It is in high demand by friends and family. And this year, 2020, quarantine life, I thought that I would share with you how I make this amazing treat. It is not terribly hard. It's a little bit time intensive, and we're going to be using ingredients that you can find anywhere. I'll give you ideas for substitutions if you don't have exactly what I'm using. But the key here is bacon and onions. I'll list below all of the ingredients with exact measurements, but don't be afraid to play. Like, to me, food and cocktails are fun. They're an art. They're things that you can inject your own spin into. So try it, have fun with it, and let me know if you make it. Foundation of bacon jam, quite obviously, is bacon. I'm starting with about 1.5 pounds of a smoked applewood bacon. You can use the stuff in the package at the grocery store. I just happened to go to the butcher and get this bacon that I really like. The next main component, the things that make your bacon jam, onions. I am using sweet Vidalia onions. You could use plain brown onions. You could use white onions. I wouldn't use red. I think they might have a little bit too much acidity and tang for this dish, but hey, try it out. Who knows? But for this recipe, we're using Vidalia onions. Brown sugar, because what goes better with bacon than brown sugar? Nothing. For spices, we are using a very basic combination of salt, good cracked black pepper, and mustard seed. There's a pinch of cayenne in here too, but the mustard seed, I think, is the key that elevates this particular bacon jam above something you might have tried at a restaurant or ordered from a specialty shop. It adds a little bit of texture and a little burst of flavor when you bite into them in the finished jam. We're going to be using a little bit of apple cider vinegar. So the two ingredients that are going to take this bacon jam goodness and just elevate it yet another level are bourbon and a coffee liqueur. Now, you can make this without either of these. You could simply use water. You could also use black coffee. The reason I am using bourbon and a coffee liqueur is the bourbon adds a oakiness and a little bit of earthiness to the dish. The coffee, the coffee plays together beautifully with the brown sugar and the bacon, and you can't quite identify the flavor, but it adds so much to the finished product. So get yourself a bottle of Mr. Black coffee liqueur if you can. I would not recommend using a Kahlua or some other coffee liqueur. If you can't find this, I would actually just use plain black coffee. This is very coffee flavored with a little bit of sweetness. I think Kahlua or something similar might be overdoing it for this dish. But again, play, have fun. Let me know what happens. Okay, once you've got all your ingredients, let's get to chopping. So our basic overview of the process is that we're going to cook down our bacon, and then with the fat in the pan, we are going to cook down our onions, add back in the spices, the bacon, and let everything come together in this glorious jam. All right, so I'm gonna keep chopping onions, but in the meantime, we're gonna get the bacon started on the stove. So once our bacon's done cooking, we're gonna remove it to a plate with a slotted spoon. So this bacon grease that's in the pan, we're gonna keep some of this, not all of it. Save that for something delicious later. After our onions have caramelized, we're gonna add in brown sugar and give it a stir. Then add your bacon back to the pan. Now we're ready for our Mr. Black coffee liqueur, a little spin of Noble Oak Bourbon, and our spice mixture of salt, pepper, a little bit of cayenne, and mustard seed. Okay, all of those liquids have reduced, it's cooled down, time to get the bacon jam in the jar. So I have a large mason jar because I am ambitious in my bacon jam making endeavors. If you put things in mason jars a lot, one of these little handy dandy funnels is so useful. Also, I am not at all left-handed, so this helps a lot. Oh yeah, I feel really, really good about this. So if you've gotten this far, clearly you've stuck with me on the idea of bacon jam. I started making bacon jam as an accompaniment for deviled eggs. Make deviled eggs, and before you squeeze in the filling that goes in the egg, put a little dollop of bacon jam in the bottom. It's amazing. It's also really great with grilled shrimp. One of my personal favorites is also on avocado toast. Way to take something healthy and turn it into a Paula Deen special. So let's give this a little bit of a taste. Oh my god, it's so good. I just need a minute. So, if you're able to part with this, it makes great gifts for friends and family. I usually break this down into small 4-ounce jars, hand it out accordingly. A little bit really does go a long way. This bad boy is going to be used for my own very small quarantine style Thanksgiving get together this year. And I'm really excited about it now. The perfect cocktail to pair with this bacon jam on an appetizer, on crackers with a cheese board, whatever it may be. The perfect cocktail to go with this just might be the maple bacon old fashioned. I'll put a link up to that here. Make sure to get yourself some of this coffee liqueur as well. It really takes this bacon jam and puts it up to another level and is incredible as an affogato or in other cocktails or even just by itself. So make yourself some bacon jam. Cheers, friends.